networking, referrals, strategies for success, and real-life stories from professionals who are building a business based on relationship marketing. Welcome to the Caerusnet podcast. Here, you'll learn how to stay connected in the local business community and become that person others get to know, like, and trust, and refer to. And now, your host, Caerusnet founder, Steven Zyskowski.
Hi, I'm Steve Zyskowski, and welcome to the Caerusnet podcast. And I love businesses with great names. It shows that they've got some personality and just some thought of what they're doing versus like AAA plus housekeeping. The guy that's on this interview today is Robert Pierce. He's the owner of an awesome business called This Guy Cleans House. And that's exactly what he does. Oh, I like it. He's got it. He's got the branding on right now. Robert, welcome to the Caerusnet podcast.
Great to be here. Thank you, Steve.
You got it. Absolutely. So, hey, we're going to get to know you today. You're going to share some wisdom with the network based on the over a year time now that you've been in Caerusnet. But let's just go down memory lane really quickly and pay tribute to some people that were instrumental in even introducing you to Caerusnet. Can you just walk us down memory lane really quickly? How did you even find out about Caerusnet? Because everybody finds me by referral.
Well, it's funny. So I've known, there's two really. Okay, I've known Angela Pacella for about 7 years now. She sold our house, bought a house from her, sold a house, bought a house. We did a few transactions with them. So I got to know them really, really well.
She's a real estate agent, right?
She's a real estate agent for the Pacella Group, yes, which she just launched her own thing as well. So that's great. But when we started the business, as I was getting clients, I got one client. Her name was Christina Kafkakis. And this had nothing to do with Angela. This had nothing to do with anybody else other than just she saw my information and she called me and we did a walkthrough and she said yes to the proposal and we started cleaning for her. And a few weeks or months later, we were just in conversation and she's like, hey, are you part of any networking groups? And I'm like, you know, I do a few things here and there. I don't find much value. I don't want to really do anything, blah, blah, blah. I'm just solo guy cleaning. And she's like, you should really try this. Come out for a visit. It's free. It'll cost you any time. Just come see what you think about it. And I'm like, okay, you know, and then I circled back to Angela because I knew at that point that Christina and Angela knew each other, which is really weird too. They both went to school together at Michigan State, go green. And then I circled back with Angela and she was like, well, yeah, it's a great idea. She goes, I would have invited you, but I didn't think of it, you know, and so there was really no, you know, she was like fully on board. She goes, yes, do it. Go take a look, visit her. I'm in the same group as Christina. So I went and visited the group and I was bought and sold right away. The energy, the passion, especially that group, you know, I'm not saying any other group is bad, but we could tell even at the member breakfast, who are the wild ones, who are the hooting and hollering ones, who are the ones that are staying up late, and getting up early. So it was surreal to see such an inspiring and grateful group for each other. They really helped each other out. They loved celebrating themselves and celebrating Caerusnet, and you especially.
Well, thank you. I appreciate going down that memory lane with you. And thank you, Angela. Thank you, Christina. Sometimes it takes a tag team to look out for each other and to kind of reinforce things that we believe in and can be helpful. And I always think it is kind of funny, too, how sometimes we can know the same people. Somebody has the presence of mind to bring it up. The other person might not. But you got to remember, I mean, it's a present that you're potentially giving somebody. So there really isn't a reason to hold back. If you know another professional and you like them and you think they're a nice person, it's kind of the nicest thing you can share with somebody. And the worst thing they can say is, oh, no, I've done that before doing other things. I don't know. And I've even had those people come and join because what they joined before didn't meet their expectations. And they found with Caerusnet it did. Well, let's talk about This Guy Cleans House. Can you paint a picture for us? Like, you are a business, and I love this. I love working with businesses that were part of kind of that great resignation, right? the businesses that really were very brave and made a big decision during a very uncertain time to start their own business. And you're one of those businesses. Take us through the journey of you becoming a full-time business owner during the pandemic.
Well, so I've been in retail for 25 plus. I mean, it's going on almost 30 years now when I was in retail. From stock boy all the way up to high leadership, running buildings like a CVS, assistant management leadership over at Target, Babies R Us, Toys R Us, that did some time at Home Depot. So a lot of big box and small box retail. And I've learned a lot from those experiences, which was great. But after the pandemic, we saw a lot of questions, a lot of opportunities that maybe weren't so great for those big corporations, in my opinion. There was a lot of pressures, a lot of stress that I couldn't control. And I decided to take a big risk and talk with the family. And we really sat down and discussed what the risks are, what the options are. And well, I through podcasts, through books, through a bunch of things, educating myself to start a small business. We found out that it was a low startup, so it was like $400 to start up the cleaning industry, and just start some marketing, build a website, and have at it. So January 2021, just coming out of the pandemic, we knew statistics said that 85% of people by 2035 will have a cleaner in their home. We're like, oh, well, that's humongous, right? So get into it while it's now, try and be a dominant in that market. But so we launched in 2021. I was still doing Target as an executive ETL, 60 hours a week at Target, 20, 30 hours a week doing cleaning, including, Sundays, including nights, including my every day off. I didn't have a single day off.
Yeah, you were trying to still build a base of clients so when you made a transition, it wasn't literally jumping out without a parachute.
Correct. That's right. Yeah. So I had educated risk, right? We couldn't just jump off and say, hope it works. So once I built a wait list up, July 25th, 2021, I was able to step away from Target and basically make about 10% less than what I was making at Target, just doing cleaning. And then from there, we're at our fourth person hired, working on our fifth and sixth person right now. Just surreal to see where it's going. And it's a shout out to networking groups in general. This one though has been humongous because of the connections that we've built, in person, trust builders, community events, anything that you can get together and you just start knowing people, and you that whole know, like, and trust thing is being a new business owner. You don't realize how important it is that getting out there and networking and getting with the community, so people get to know who you are, and then you get to know who they are, so you can refer each other. It's such a hot lead because you trust that person, and I've got probably 3 or 4 Caerusnetters as clients right now too.
That's great. That's fantastic to hear. And I think it's interesting because when a lot of people start doing their networking as a new business, they're not sure what to do. Like the reality is this, in my opinion: if you're not going to do something consistently, you're not going to get results, period. So people that think that they're going to just go to an event somewhere, go to some little thing without doing anything to follow up, without doing anything to help other people. The way that we grow our business in Caerusnet is by being helpful to other members of the team, right? Like remembering them. And you've been a great referral passer as well too on the team. So what I like about that is when I see people passing referrals, but also receiving, I really appreciate that because I know that that's earned. That's really earned. It's like the dividends that we've earned on the relationship bank that we've been making deposits into all the time through referring other people, right? So I'm really glad for that. Let's talk about, for those of you that are listening that are thinking, ooh, that sounds really good. I love the idea of me not having to clean my house all the time because I'm such a hard worker and I've got kids I want to, spend time with. So could you paint the picture for us? Like who is your ideal client, maybe geographically, and their situation? What do they look like? And then adding to that, what makes your business different than Molly Maids or something like that?
So our ideal client typically, so we are based, I am personally based out of Fenton, Michigan, which is right on the border of Oakland County, Genesee County, and Livingston County. We are in Genesee County, but there are parts of Fenton that are in Livingston County. So where do I go? Oakland, Livingston, Genesee County. So we are about 50-mile radius from the Fenton area. We'll go out. We've stretched it a little bit, but we do hit all those areas. Sometimes we've gotten even into Wayne County. But typically we stay with Oakland, Genesee, and Livingston County. The ideal clients are really just, mothers, fathers, families that are just looking for a little bit of time back. We definitely want to make sure that we can give them time. It's really important to us. But we built a strong foundation around this business. We have a mission statement. We have strong core values, which is integrity. We take your house personal. We have ownership of your home, and we also walk away with excellence. And it's very important for us that when we build these foundations, you're getting a company that is really dialed in, not just what it means to me, but what it means to the team. We hire and fire based on all of those core values and our mission statement. So it's very important that everyone knows that it's not just we're hiring 5 people to come into your house, knock it out, be done. We're hiring one consistent cleaner. You're going to get the same cleaner every time. We have a very consistent routine. A lot of times folks will see Susan one week, Jeffrey the next week, Philip the following week, and we don't do that here. You're going to see the same cleaner 90% of the time. There are times someone's going to call off, or there's going to be a snowstorm, which is coming up Friday. But things are going to happen. But 90% of the time, you're going to have the same cleaner on the same day during your routine. If it's every 2 weeks, it's every Wednesday at 9. Every Wednesday, every 2 weeks at 9 a.m., you're going to have that person, same cleaner, same time. So we want to build consistency, and they all know to act with strong integrity when they're in the home. So they're reporting any kind of breakage if it does happen. They're letting me know if they're running late. They know that they live these core values every day when they work for us.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I think that's a great explanation as to how you're different. Another question then, also as it relates to your Caerusnet experience. You've got your hat on already, so I'd say put your thinking cap on. But thinking about the journey you've had in Caerusnet, describe a success story. And I'm not going to try to guide you or point you in that direction. Whatever came to your mind first, like a success story in Caerusnet for you personally. Do you have one?
Well, so I've cleaned for several families. The referrals have been great. But when I think about Caerusnet, I don't think about necessarily myself. And it's just the way I've always kind of been, is where I'm not really like, well, where's mine? I have a client that I sent out a referral. It was through Facebook, but the client knew me. She trusted us as a business. And Trisha Turner she's growing her business, for Turner Design Group. And she had a landscaping company. She had some posts out there, and someone was looking for it. This client was looking for it. I mentioned her name, mentioned her business, gave a solid referral about it. Because when I type out referrals, I don't just type out Trisha Turner to Turner Design Group. I say, this is the character of this person. This is why you want to select that person, because it's important to let others know it's not just another landscape company. They're different. They have ownership. But so when I put that out there, this client called her, and it ended up being like a $10,000 deal for Turner Design Group, and that's where it hits me, and it gives me the buzz, or the fizz, you call it, right? It gives me the fizz, and it hit me on the inside. I'm like, wow, that's really powerful. And in a second, another smaller one too. I'm part of a group with all cleaning companies, and we have a Monday mastermind every week. And Jason Tracy had a commercial cleaner on his podcast one time. And after I heard that, I'm like, oh, my team needs to hear about this. So I sent that podcast to my team, to my mentor. My mentor starts sharing it to all of his people. I'm like, holy crap. And no joke, tears are running down my eyes, because I'm like, how powerful is it to see something like that when you can share experience, especially on people that earned it and have deserved it. It's a phenomenal feeling on the inside when you can really share other people's businesses and get great results from that.
Yeah, that's when I used to own a mortgage company in a past life, even to this day now, anytime I pass a referral, even though it's not necessarily, anything I'm making any money on, same thing with you, I celebrate. I'm so excited when I know that somebody trusted me enough to take my recommendation, and then meet with somebody they've never met before, and then that person comes in and is able to make that person's life better. Um, and I also know, like I say too, like referring is what the whole thing is about. There's a lot of ways we can help each other, right? I mean, there's a lot of collaborations that happen on a Caerusnet team. A referral is, obviously why we're there. We're also hoping that these relationships will result in people going to bat for us, just like you go to bat for Trisha and Jason. You have other people on the team that are thinking of you. And I think that's just so huge because, there are a lot of groups that the only time people ever think of each other is when they're actually meeting. And they don't think of each other again until they actually get to the next meeting. And that's certainly not the case with what we do. It's a culture that's happened there, and people pull it into them and personalize it and make it theirs. So I think that's a great example. So so now that you said I think you started with Caerusnet as a member, trying to remember exactly.
September 2021.
September 2021. Okay, perfect. Yep. And I also want to say personally, I've had the opportunity for me to work with you regarding cleaning out a property that I have and getting it ready for the next person. And all I've heard from the people that have moved in were like, "Oh, spotless," and that's what you want. I mean, it's a great property, and people that are renting there have families, and I want them to go in realizing that the guy that they're working with is providing a top shelf place and cares about them, and as a result, I've attracted good people
Right.
there, and so thank you for taking good care of me. And I think I made an introduction for you along the way too, to the agent that actually rented that property.
Yeah, great communication, great. We haven't met, but I do plan on in the spring that maybe me and her can get together and have a conversation. But yes, great communication between all of you. It was phenomenal.
Okay, so hey, we are nearing the final quarter of this conversation today. And so I've got to ask you now, everybody that joins Caerusnet, is coming at this from a different perspective. Some people have been doing some sort of a networking activity, structured or unstructured, for their entire business profession. And, they go into Caerusnet, because they've had experience, maybe with more realistic expectations or how things can work. Then I've got the other half of the people have never done anything like this before. And who knows exactly what their expectations are, but I know that most people, anytime they do something new, there is a sense of excitement. And sometimes, like with the business or anything else, sometimes we're like, it's going to be like this, and it's going to be like this. And sometimes it matches our expectations. And sometimes we're like, hey, this isn't as easy as I thought. It takes a little more of this or that. So with that being said, if you were talking to a brand new member joins your Brighton Wednesday 10 o'clock group, and you go to that brand new member and say, hey, man, I love doing trust builders. Let's get to know each other. If that brand new member asked you during a trust builder, Robert, what's the biggest piece of advice you can give me to help me on this first year of my Caerusnet experience? What would that be?
Attend as many meetings as possible, and go to as many events as possible as well. So you're never going to get, and to me, it's not about getting, it's about creating relationships with people that you've never met before, making new friends, and a friend doesn't have to be someone you talk to every week. This is a friend that maybe you talk to once a month, maybe once a year, but there's still a friend, because building these relationships, it goes back to that know, like, and trust. If they don't know you, why would they refer you? So put the time and effort in, sacrifice your daily work, your daily schedules, and make time for those things that happen, because it's very important that we build those relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. People want to know who they're referring to, how it impacts their life, what's their niche, how do I bring you up in conversation? We need to kind of coach each other. And I think that To me, I like to give first, and I have no problem with that. I just know that's the recipe is just, be a giver. Don't give with expectations. Give because, like what you said, it makes you feel good to realize that, not only can you sell house cleaning, you can sell a landscaping job, you can sell an introduction to a financial advisor, you can sell an introduction to a business coach. Just depending on who it is you come across, you can really have a wonderful influence making people's lives better. Alrighty, so in your business, what is one other type of business that you would like to see on your Caerusnet team that's not currently there that you think could be a good synergistic business? This is going to be our mic drop question that gets us done at 20 minutes.
Commercial cleaner.
Okay.
For me, it's huge for a referral base. I get commercial calls a lot, and we don't staff for it. We don't hire for it. We hire day shifts, no weekends, no nights. So that's commercial. So that would be the biggest thing for my business personally would be to for anybody that has commercial cleaning experience or a business, whatever it is, that would be great. Carpet cleaners as well would help as well. Those two things are very powerful for this business.
All right, perfect. Robert Pierce, this guy cleans house. Thank you for being on the Caerusnet podcast today. I'm looking forward to having a fantastic 2023 with you in the Brighton Wednesday 10 o'clock group, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate everything you do.